Hello, I'm Luna and I'd like to welcome you to my little shop of spirit. In today's reading, we'll be comparing your first impression versus the lasting impact that you had. So if you chose pile 1, then you're in the right spot. Let's go ahead and get started. Spirit, what was pile 1's first impression? What was pile 1's first impression, Spirit? Oh, it's interesting that we get this. I was hearing, as I was shuffling your cards, the song, it's like, I see red, and I don't know what it's called or if it's country. I'm not really sure, but it just says like, I see red, red, and then we get the Justice card, which has a ton of red on it. And I'm hearing like Doja Cat's Paint the Town Red. Like, I think people's first impressions of you are maybe that you were on like I'm trying to think of the word for it, but it's like, not necessarily like a path of revenge, but like a single-minded focus, and you're kind of like blazing while you take this trail, and like, you know, it almost seemed like you were like handling something emotionally in like a very warpath. That's the word I was looking at. It's like people get the sense that you were on like this, the first impression of you were that you had like this justified warpath. Like the first impression that people picked up on you, like the traits that people first pick up on, is your intellect, your keen intellect and your intuition. And I just heard smart cookie. And people's first impressions are that you're the sort of person who maybe felt like, even when you were really small, or you've always felt like attached to this idea that you were meant for something really great, maybe. And I even get the idea that maybe you've always felt like a princess or always felt like a prince. Like, you always felt bigger than your natural born position. That's what I'm kind of getting in. But people definitely sensed your greatness despite whatever position you had. So, I mean, people agree with you on that. So we have the Star, the Seven of Swords, and Temperance. People's first impressions of you are that you're meant for greatness, that you're bearing a lot of weight that perhaps maybe isn't yours, and also that you are a conflict. You're a conflict, like you find resolution. And what's really interesting about you being the person that seems to help everyone else avoid their conflict is like, you being on this warpath is kind of scary because you avoid conflict. So that's why people felt like it was really, must have been justified, the energy that they were picking up off from you, because you generally are the peace bearer and like the peace bringer, and you really like nullify conflict. And I definitely get the vibes, people's first impressions of you are, I really get the vibe of like the sort of music that's like that one song that's like, there's got to be a morning after. There's like easygoing 60s, 70s music, just really peaceful and still, like still waters. That's the vibe that you give off initially. So let's see how those perceptions have shifted. Whose perspective has mostly shifted is those who has maybe witnessed you on the so-called warpath, if that's what you want to call it. They're seeing actually like your sunny disposition, and that those feelings are just reserved. The feelings of like rage and anger and like, those are just justified, or those are just reserved for when they're justified. And people are seeing how like reserved and abundant you are, and how calm and collected you are. I'm getting like the vibes of people realize actually like you're the type of person. I'm just getting like in my mind's eye like a Disney princess scene where she's like singing in the forest and all the animals are like landing on her shoulder and her arm and near her and stuff. Like that's the vibe that people sort of, that's the vibe that people sort of land on with you like when you leave. What sticks with people, we have the Ace of Cups reversed, King of Cups, the Tower, and Four of Wands. What sticks with people is how you're not necessarily new to the game. You have the emotional intelligence of someone who is not new to the game, but you behave in a way that's like without burden, without baggage. Despite all that you've been through, that's the impact that you leave on people. And they think about how emotionally intelligent you are and how despite all that the turmoil that you face or the endings and the challenges and the struggles that you faced in life, you always end up celebrating, you always end up on top. That's the impact that you leave on people. You're definitely a very peaceful individual. I was certainly picking up on that earlier, like just the sort of music that was coming through and the sort of like imagery and scenes. Like we got easy listening music and Disney princess animal scenes. Like it's just very peaceful. Very peaceful. Like everything trusts you. But we have the Buddha, the mustard seed, and Saint Teresa of Avila. These cards are discussing topics of awareness, balance, inner peace, faith, and growth. And resilience. These are definitely like topics that people, they stick with them after you leave. Like they're like, oh my gosh, this pile 1 is so strong. They have been through so much and you can't tell. They wear a smile on their face and they're glowing and they're celebrating. The Buddha card reads, suffering begins and ends in the mind. Release attachments and find liberation in the present moment. I think for some reason it's definitely just coming through like for your pile, just also big fish in a small pond and how your environment doesn't limit you. This next card reads, even the smallest faith can move mountains. This is the mustard seed card. Trust in the power of divine possibilities. And seek stillness within to hear the voice of wisdom. Spiritual growth often begins in silence and contemplation. I think your trust in the divine is like witnessable. People definitely just, you don't seem like, you don't have this energy of like, oh, I've surrendered, but it's like you have faith that everything's going to be okay for you. People do sense that. And what's interesting, I just checked my timer, it's 4:12 on the clock as I say that, but we have come out Yule Log and Slay. These cards represent warmth, celebration, and endurance, and Slay represents movement, adventure, and lightheartedness. The endurance, celebration, and lightheartedness is definitely what people will pick up on you, Pile 1. And also just your movement. You're never stagnant. You don't let life hold you back or hold you down or like put you in a box. You have a destination in mind and people can sense that nothing is going to stop you from getting there. So I wanted to pull just a crystal for each of the piles. So I ended up pulling this stone that I've never noticed before. It's called a Kiwi Jasper star, or also a Lotus Jasper star crystal, and it reads, this stone will help one to see that both sides, like yin and yang, are necessary and both needed for wholeness. It nourishes and supports us in time of stress, brings peace and wholeness, and unites all aspects of your life. It aligns the chakras and absorbs negative energy. It's a good stone for those who want to gather their strength for the battles from the emotional realm. And it's said to be a good stone for those who stand for justice and fair play. And despite its natural color that it's got here that's quite soft, its energy that it gives is invigorating and vibrant. And it overall just aligns you to the impulses of love, it is said. So we will leave your messages there for today, Pile 1. If you enjoyed that, please leave a like and your thoughts in the comments below. And definitely subscribe so I can see you again. For now though, bye! Hello, I'm Luna and I'd like to welcome you to my little shop of spirit. In today's video, we will be comparing their first impressions of you versus the lasting impact that you had. So if you chose Pile 2, then you're in the right spot. Let's go ahead and begin. Pile 2, the first impression that people get from you is that you have this infinite source of gentle strength. People's first impressions of you are sort of that you are untamable. I don't know why that's coming through like that, because I get that you are you have a very stable energy, so I don't know why it's coming through like that, but maybe people just want to tame you. But I do get the sense that you tame any figure. You can tame any figure, and you can also overcome and alchemize just anything, it seems. I'm getting the sense that you might be, well, people think you were. Anyways, it's not that you might be, but people's first impressions of you are that you may be competitive and that you might have this dramatic flair about your competitiveness, you're not scared to put a show on. And I don't know if you guys heard that, but there was a helicopter that was coming through. It was totally reminding me of Fear Factor. People don't think that you hesitate from fear, or that's their first impression anyways. And it's like you step up to the beast in your life and you make a show of it. That's sort of what people think. You might actually be the type to play with fire. People seem to think that. Maybe literally, but I was getting figuratively. You have a very magnetic aura to you though, because people definitely sense that you are very introspective, that you spend a lot of time thinking, and they feel like you probably have a lot to think about. And I'm getting the energy of someone that's sort of lived and traveled in a circus, and I don't know how else to describe it, because I don't really mean in a way that's so acrobatic and it's just people get the sense that you have lived a very full life, and that you have a lot of stories to tell, and that you like the drama of life. And I don't mean that in a negative way, but it's not the toxicity of life, but you love living, and the ups and downs, that they don't scare you. You're not scared of the roller coaster of life. Whereas some people don't, they see the roller coaster, they don't even get in line. People might say you are a super lucky figure, but I am definitely sensing they are sort of denying themselves the admission that you've been through a lot and overcome a lot, and don't let fear hold you back. And people feel, I just heard NASCAR and racetrack, people feel you're in the fast lane and just living fast. And I'm also getting dirt bikes and dirt bike, Red Bull tracks, and just stuff like that, adrenaline rushes, skydiving, stuff like that. I don't know why. Wrangling alligators, I do not know why that came through. Seems really random. Running with the bulls, wrangling the bull. People feel like you are living life to the fullest and that you're full of adventure. And they feel despite all this adventure, it's not any of this is destroying you or leading to your destruction. They feel you're living a full life, having all this fun, having all this adventure, and you're building yourself and thereby your empire because of it. So let's switch over to the lasting impact you have. So we'll see first how their perceptions have shifted. Their perspective has shifted. This is really powerful for me. I really enjoy your energy pile too. You remind me of an energy that some of my cousins have. We have here though Ace of Wands, Eight of Wands, the Moon in reverse, and the Devil. So the way that people's perspectives have shifted is they realize that you're not just this wild child without a plan, just being whimsical, and they felt people may have maybe felt you didn't have a plan, or they didn't see how you were keeping it together, because they were how are you doing it, how are you running with the bulls and skydiving and being a regular person at the same time, holding it together, holding it down for yourself. People are struggling to see how normalcy and a lack of fear can exist side by side. But you don't doubt yourself. Well, it's not that, I don't know that it's not that you don't doubt yourself. You don't doubt life. Okay, you may have moments where you doubt yourself, okay, because we're all human. But you don't doubt life and how it comes at you. And you don't question that. You just you accept it, and you accept it as it is, and then you accept it as a challenge. And you may have had many challenges. People realize that you've actually have fought a lot of demons or have overcome a lot in your own life. You're not just this wild child. running through the mud and throwing caution to the wind. You have a lot of intention and purpose. You just are trying to also have fun. Okay, so we had a number of cards come out, but I want to, I don't want to just like bark out what the cards say to you. So let me just go over like the messages that are calling out to me, and then yeah, you can just take from that what you want to. Your ability to have and hold resilience, unconditional love, your ability to renew and restore, your ability to celebrate and ascend is what sticks with people. And we'll go over a couple of quotes off these cards as well, just because I feel like they relate. This first quote reads, "Even in darkness, your light burns brightly. Let it guide you through challenging times." I'll read this card just because I feel like it relates, but it says, "Trust in the visions you receive. What is broken will be restored in divine life." And this card is actually Zechariah. I don't know if that is a biblical figure or a saint, but it's somewhere in that vein. But I think, we talked about that. You trust life. You trust where life leads you. Like, you don't spend time questioning yourself or, like, life, okay? Like, you may have days where you're, like, down about things. I mean, that's normal. Like, everybody has bad days, but, like, you don't let that lead you through lag. You don't let it, like, drag you. The quote on this card is, "Dance with joy and lead with faith. Your guidance inspires liberation for yourself and others." That is true. People look at you like, wow, they can't fathom how you do what you do. This last card is a Joan of Arc card, and the quote on this card reads, "Trust your inner voice and act fearlessly. You are chosen to lead with strength and conviction." Conviction is the word that I would use to concisely define your approach. 444 on the timer as I say that. And we have coming out for our last card, Snowball. And I'm getting, my mind is taking me to this one image I really enjoyed one time, and I think it was at Harvard, I'm not really sure, but it was like an Ivy League or something like that, and the students were having like a snowball fight. I think they got like very injured from it, like got black eyes and stuff, which is so hilarious because it's the paradox of like getting so beaten up by a snowball. They must have been packing pretty hard snowballs, but the keywords on this card are momentum, small beginnings, and playful energy. So we have what I'm assuming is a green moss agate mushroom crystal. This crystal it's very earthy, and the mushroom itself is a symbol of growth, regeneration, and transformation. I also think of like natural networks, so you may have a natural ability to network and find community. And the stone helps you increase compassion, generosity, and a sense of justice. It brings you this energy, and the green the green moss agate mushroom crystal in general is just said to symbolize growth, regeneration, and transformation. And it's also said to promote stability and abundance. So we are going to leave your reading off with the messages from your mushroom. If you enjoyed, don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comments below, and subscribe so I can see you again. For now though, bye! Hello, I'm Luna, and I'd like to welcome you to my little shop of spirit. In today's reading, we will be comparing people's first impressions of you versus the lasting impact that you left on them. So if you chose pile 3, you're in the right spot. Let's just go ahead and get started. What are people's first impressions of pile 3? Okay. I just heard Subway and Subway Surfer, and maybe you play the game or know someone that does and that's significant to you, but I was getting also just like someone who's in transportation a lot and going places. Someone who is, the type of person to ask for the window seat. They're always looking out the window, pondering events and experiences that are possible out in the world. You might be a wine drinker for some reason that's coming through. And I'm also hearing like Tuscany. People see you as initially a very mysterious individual, and they want to tap into your emotions. They want to understand your emotions. They're intellectual, and then because you're intellectual, like maybe emotionally guarded. But that mysteriousness, intrigues people initially. I wasn't going to take this, but I am feeling compelled to take this. I don't know about you, but I couldn't help but take notice. I mean, I haven't been calling the cards out, but if you can see them, I mean, I don't know how well you can see them, but we have Two of Wands, Two of Swords, Two of Pentacles. People see you as like super balanced, but they sense a like deepness within you that intrigues them. And they also see you as being very capable, are the vibes that you give off. That you've had to balance a lot and maybe walk a fine line in life between, like, maybe not so dramatically, but between good and evil. And I mean, maybe that dramatically. People sense that there have been metaphorical mountains in your life, but you've either made them look easy, or people don't really sense like the full scale of them, much like a glacier, you know, like just the tip comes out of the water. And so, I mean, I think you do make it look easy, but I think people are kind of wondering, are they making it look easy, or is it just that easy? And maybe you even make people initially like question like themselves, like, why isn't it that easy for me? Or why don't I feel, people feel like in the very same circumstance that you are in, have been through, or will be in, it would be so much more difficult for them to be in those same circumstances, and like you've survived them and made it look easy, and maybe like you were just juggling and it was like maybe a bit of a performance for you. You make people feel that way. It may have been, you know, terror for you going through it, but they don't feel like that. So let's switch over to the lasting impact that you've left on people's lives. I feel that people feel that you take, I'm hearing, bad seeds and you grow trees out of them. Okay, like people feel that you do that for them. That's the lasting impact that you have on people. People feel that you take their issues and you just grow them into like this miracles. Honestly, beautiful miracles. You heal people's wounds. And I'm hearing like you may actually heal more wounds than you'll ever hear of. So people's perception, I feel like people have maybe just, this is like the sort of feeling that I've gotten to know, or the sort of feeling that this gives out is like, I've gotten to know you. And the lasting impact you have on people is they see how capable you are and how at your disposal the world feels. People feel like you're like the game master if life's a game. People feel like you make the rules and you're playing, you know, better than anybody else. And they also, the people feel lost when you leave as well, and may even feel like you yourself have faced like a union, a loss of a union. So that could be a best friend or a partner, or, you know, just a union though. And people see though that you've had to build everything that you have for yourself, and you've built like an abundance of what you have. You've faced loss in your own life, but people feel like it's only translated into sharper abilities for you. And people almost feel like you have like occult forces on your side, or like magical forces on your side, because you're able to just make things happen. The way that you're able to just, you know, it's like the flick of your wrist, the wave of your wand. People very much view you like you're the magician, like you're the witch, the wizard. The way that you are able to just overcome anything and make anything happen for yourself, and also it's just like all the stuff that you've been through, and like it's a little dark, I feel like, and people are just amazed at your ability to renew yourself. Like, you know, I'm definitely getting like the image of a witch that's a spirit guide. I think Odin might be someone who's trying to reach out to you. People definitely feel like you have occult practices that you are involved in, not just interested in. You know, when I was hearing earlier, like people get the impression that you're not the type to just ponder your hardships. You also ponder your celebrations, and like you're very utilitarian. You're very utilitarian and like practical. And I'm just hearing as well, like you may have needed saving. You may have needed rescued like throughout your life, or maybe at one specific point, but it's like each of those times, or that one time, you were also your own savior. So that's the lasting impact that you leave on people. And I'm noticing, like, just with also, like, I'm noticing a cloaked figure in many of these cards. You may wear a cloak in life or be the sort of person that's been labeled like a social chameleon. I definitely picked that up. Or you may have you may have wished at one point you could be invisible, or maybe feel like being invisible would be a superpower. Okay, so I'm feeling like compelled to just go over explicitly what each of these cards covers, so let's just get into it. We have the Quran, representing guidance, truth, and devotion. This card reads, "Seek wisdom and clarity in sacred teachings. The path to peace lies in devotion and understanding." We also have the Cross, representing sacrifice, redemption, transformation. This card reads, "Embrace the challenges that transform you. Through sacrifice comes renewal and divine grace." The keys of power, keywords being authority, leadership, and responsibility. This card reads, "You hold the keys to unlock divine wisdom. Step into your role with grace and courage." And I definitely feel like people witness your courageousness and the way that you have had to hold the keys to the castle and, be the king and the queen and the guardsman. We have the lotus flower, representing purity, spiritual awakening, and triumph. This card reads, "Rise above adversity and bloom in your full potential. You are rooted in sacred energy." And lastly, we have Jeremiah. Keywords being resilience, divine calling, and hope. Trust in your purpose. Even when it feels heavy, your voice and actions carry divine weight. I feel people feel you've had to trust yourself a lot. People definitely pick up on that because you have like this energy of self-assuredness. 236 on my timer as I say that. It's like you may have had struggles in life, but you turn them into opportunities for growth and became something bigger from it. You don't let your problems make you smaller. You make your problems make you bigger in a good way. 2:04 on the clock as I say that. You might have shaggy hair I'm picking up. 1:22 on the timer as I say that. Okay, we'll just take so we have for you. Alright, so we have from this winter deck images of stocking, pine cone, and wreath. These symbolize anticipation, small blessings, and unexpected gifts, as well as growth, potential, seeds of wisdom, and wholeness, eternal cycles, and unity. And so people definitely feel like you offer a lot of mysteriousness that they want to, open up. They want to get inside your stocking and see what it holds. They want to open up the gift. They also see that, you are the seed and more than the seed of something that is very sturdy, and you offer a lot of stability yourself. And it's cool because the lasting impact that you leave on people is interest. Because people see that you are very whole, but they can't see the whole of you. So that's why the mysteriousness and the intrigue, because they see like how stable and full you are unto yourself, but they don't see the totality of it. So let's finish the messages with a crystal and then we will wrap up. So the crystal that we have here is a dragon's blood. It's so pretty, oh my gosh. Dragon's blood crystal, also known as dragon's blood jasper or dragon's blood calcite. It's believed to help with strength, courage, protection, and finding one's purpose. Helps self-healing and can help dissolve false self-perception. It was throughout history given to warriors as a talisman before battle. And the stone is said to stimulate creativity, love, and money. It combines practicality with courage, which is a rare energy that encourages us to walk our talk and solve our problems. This crystal's energy inspires us to grow up, take responsibility, and do what needs to be done. That can be said of your pile. I definitely get that with your pile. You have the energy of someone who was forced to grow up a little too fast. We will leave your messages there for today, pile 3. I hope that was incredibly helpful. If you liked it, don't forget to leave a like and your thoughts in the comments below, and subscribe so I can hopefully see you again. For now though, bye!